In this video, I will show you the most essential work you need to do if you want to bring deep happiness and love into your life. And it's a premiere. I have never seen this knowledge shared anywhere on the internet. Of course, I have seen many people who talk about happiness and certainly about love, but I never felt that they really knew what they were talking about. As a young adult, I intensely focused on how to bring deep happiness and love into my life and that of my families. And doing so, I discovered rapidly the concept of manifesting. This is the practice of visualization and speaking out affirmations about the image of your future, with the intention to turn this into reality. Let's say you want a beautiful house with a swimming pool, financial freedom, not too much work in your life, and a loving relationship. Well, the most common thing that professionals will tell you is to write down this image in a few sentences and then recite these sentences daily during a long period. In the days that I discovered this concept of manifesting, I didn't have the luxury to have someone like my present self in the world of the professionals. So I started to work with this idea of manifesting. But here is the thing. I never manifested in the way these professionals claimed it. I did something that looked on the surface like manifesting, but was in fact energy-wise the total opposite. But I wasn't aware of this. I just did it the way that it felt right for me. What I did then is what I call now co-creating with our Father. The difference between the two is the subject you focus on. And that is something that no one talks about. Every professional says you can materialize whatever you want by manifesting, but that is not true at all. Simply put, if you focus primordially on money, on acquiring money, you won't be able to bring happiness or love into your life. And here is something that is very important to understand. Our societies brainwashed us on a subconscious level to put the focus of our life on acquiring money. And the word subconsciously is very important in this story, because I meet a lot of people, many people who say, no, Bart, when I manifest, my focus is not on money at all. I focus on bringing love into my family. Money is always secondary. But in the way they manifest, I can see that this isn't true. There is still a fear active that has a hold on their focus. If you want to learn more about this, watch this video. So in my experience, people who co-create with our Father have resisted this brainwashing and kept a focus on something else. By the way, if you are resonating with what I am saying and you want to learn more about it and you want to be with like-minded people, I have created something beautiful for you. A free community on School. I put the link in the description. Now, what was this focus? When I compare myself and others who create happiness and love in their life with people who manifest, the most differentiating between us and them is that we think, talk and focus openly on our Father, the one who created us. Not only that, we see him as a living entity, a person who, however not visible for us, has the same human energy as we do, only in a much more elevated way. The people who co-create with our Father feel deeply connected to him, and not in the way religion pictures our Father, but on a personal level, as a son with a father. And because we're connected on a personal level with him, it's also easier for him to come and sit with us and co-create with us. And while we are doing our affirmations, we suddenly can feel His presence, His energy, His spirit. We are together with Him in a very intimate way. And it's beautiful to be there together with Him. And I can assure you that He is waiting for all of us to do this co-creation work together with Him. It brings Him immense joy. Now, let's get specific. So, seen from the surface, we use the same methods as manifesting does. We write our affirmations and we speak them out loud daily for a longer period. But here is the difference. People who co-create with our Father do everything they can to bring our Father and His energy into the process. Now, that is a very beautiful thing to do, but also a very subtle and vulnerable thing to do. So how do we do this? Our tuning into this divine energy is finding the right words in our affirmations and the right way to pronounce these words. In relation to the words we use, our primary subject to focus on in our sentences is deep happiness, profound joy, and the energy of love, because that's the only thing our Father asks from us, to experience joy in our life and to have love living with us and our family. In relation to the way we pronounce these words, the timbre, the color of our voice, and the pace with which we utter our words is very important. When I feel connected with our Father, my pronunciation has a very slow pace and a warm tone in my voice. And then I know He's with me. But some of you may say, but Bart, is this wise to give away this information to all people? Because maybe there are people with bad intentions who copy this and pretend to co-create with our Father and accomplish bad things. Well, I can assure you, this isn't possible. This doesn't work if people don't have pure intentions. And our Father is very selective in this. He will never co-create with someone who doesn't have pure intentions. Now, as the word's process indicates, this contact with our Father isn't there from the moment that I start uttering my sentences. I'm not right away in that divine zone. Now, here on our kin's domain, where my beloved is present, this is of course easier for me. But back then in 2020, when I lived in the city with the wrong woman in my life and with all kinds of emotional blockages, it sometimes took me half an hour to get there. But because I knew how beautiful it was to be together with our Father, it didn't take too much from me. Co-creating with our Father goes probably hand in hand with the most beautiful feeling that I know. And because I knew I could connect with this feeling, I could do this every day for months. 2 months ago, I started a new period of co-creation with our Father. And in those 2 months, the most important thing that I did was writing and rewriting my sentences. And 3 days ago, I found the exact words that bring me now easily into this divine space with our Father. And it's a blessing to be there with Him. In those 3 days, I was touched a lot when I was together with Him. I cried a lot. But not tears of sadness or sorrow, but of being deeply touched by His presence. Like a missing son who is finally coming home. If you would like to step into that same process of co-creation with our Father and you could use some help with it, I have created a beautiful coaching program for you. Apply for a call with me and we'll talk about it. I'll put a link in the description. I wish you all bright thoughts.